The role of a school board member is to make sure that every child gets a fair education, a good education. I feel that my role on the school board is to make sure that not only the students that are in my district, but Caddo as a whole, are able to get a good education. Right now, I'm in the Air Force Reserve over at Barksdale, and we handle big budgets as well. We have to make sure that we're budgeting items, you know, to keep the B-52s in the air, keep them running. So we do have a lot of bookkeeping that we have to keep up with also. And I feel that that helps me to know how to budget and keep things going. I also sit on a couple other boards in town. I'm on the Sickle Cell Anemia board, the Northwest Louisiana chapter. I serve as the treasurer on that board, which affords me the opportunity as well to look at budgets, make sure the budget stays on track, and try not to over budget. Some of the programs that are working well, I know down in the Southern Hills area, we have outside groups that are coming in to help students out. You know, they're volunteering time. And I think that's one of the big things that students need to see, is that it's not just, you know, you guys, that the whole community wants to become involved in your education as well, because, you know, they are the future. You know, the future is right now. So the more that they can see that the community is involved in what they're doing, the more that they'll hopefully want to get an education or stay in school, you know, and achieve higher heights, you know, in their education. Some of the things that I see that aren't working, we have a lot of students that are beginning school that aren't at kindergarten and first grade level. I think that we could look at some fundamental reading programs and programs that help students, you know, in the pre-K area, so that once they start school, they're at grade level. I think right now I hear that it takes a child to about 3rd or 4th grade to actually get on the reading level, and that's way too long. You know, now the kids are playing catch up for the rest of the time that they're in school. So if they would come to school prepared, know what some of the basic things that they need to start school, I think that would help out. So I think that I would like to focus on that as well once I become a school board member, or re-elected rather. I think that we need to bring in some people that have experience in this area. You know, if I don't know how to do a certain thing, I'll call on somebody that has expertise in it, to have them to come in and, okay, show me the whys and why nots, the do's and the don'ts of whatever it is. And I think that we need that here in Caddo. Maybe some outside help that will come in and say, hey, you guys, if you do this, it will help the bottom line. You know, your medical program can last a little bit longer, and things that, you know, like I say, to do or not to do with the program that you're in. Look at things that have worked in other areas. Hopefully keeping the cost of health insurance down. You know, in this day and time, it's kind of hard to keep the cost down, but just to maximize what your dollar can buy for you right now. I think that they need to make the schools and actually the city a little more attractive. And what I mean by that is, it's no secret that students and families are leaving Caddo Parish. They'll come in for a little while, or those that are here, they see better opportunities elsewhere. I think that the school system and other government agencies need to work together on making Caddo Parish and Shreveport a little bit more attractive. The populations have declined in the school system. I think we should look at maybe putting some pre-K in the elementary schools. That will get the numbers up. Of course, the schools, you know, we do get funding from the government. It's based on the number of students that are in the classrooms. So I think that's one way that we could help that, is to, you know, to get students in there at an earlier age, and then put some programs in place like I talked about earlier to get them up to school grade earlier. Other than that, just back to the budgeting aspect of it. You know, if you got the budget, you know, some schools just have to be closed. I also would like to see a better career center put in place. We have the CTC that's available right now for students that may not be going to college. But if we had a state-of-the-art system here, I think that would help out. It's not only the kids that are here. There are a lot of kids that are waiting to want to get into the program, but they can't because there's only so many spaces available in where they are located right now. I think a new high-tech school would be something to look at, maybe get a bond or something from the city to look at funding it. And at the same time, court other companies. Say, hey, look what we're doing in Shreveport, and that's where the other agencies come in. We're investing in our children in Shreveport. Why not you guys come here, set a company up, or tell us what you need in the meantime, and we'll get people trained up, ready to go. So when they graduate, they have a place to work instead of having to go somewhere else to work. And that in turn will help keep the numbers in place where they are, and hopefully to grow. People will start seeing Shreveport is a good place. They are doing things to help out the economy as well. Okay. My responsibility, of course, are to address the needs of District 10, but knowing that District 10 is a part of Caddo Parish. I think the main thing to do is to sit down with the other board members and work together. The biggest thing is working together. And since I was appointed to the board, I think it's one of the things that I can see that has happened since I've been there, is that the board members that are sitting now, they're able to work together. We talk about the problems each other have, and like you say, those problems are not just in District 10, but they're Caddo Parish wide. Sitting down, working out strategies to help each other out, to help each district out, I think is the main focus of what actually needs to be done in the school board. I think that we're working towards that right now. As far as this on the school board, or just life in general?
Just life in general.
Ethics are tested on a daily basis. It's nothing more than doing the right thing when nobody's looking at you. But it's easy to do the right thing when people are looking at you. But as far as ethics go, that's a daily thing to do what's right. I do it on my job every day, to make sure that what you're doing is right. Not put myself in front of somebody else, and just making sure that everybody is getting along first of all. But as far as ethics go, like I said, that's a daily thing all day long. You're not only tested in front of people, but it's what you do when nobody's looking at you. One priority that I have, I spoke of earlier, is to get children, once they start school, they're at school at a higher level of education before they get there. I would like to see, the pre-K programs have more funding and be more widespread in the community, not just in District 10, but Caddo Parish as a whole. I think that, reading is fundamental. I remember as a kid coming up, they had little commercials that came on. But if a child can't read at the age that they should be reading it in school, then they're way that much far behind. Reading, you can't do math without reading. And of course, you can't do anything else in the school without knowing how to read. So reading is fundamental. I would like to see more reading programs put in place at an earlier age for kids. There's nothing wrong with a child starting kindergarten that can read already. All it takes is a little bit of pushing the child. Put the games down. Cut TV off for a little while. Let's take an hour a day, at least an hour a day, a couple hours a day, and just look at how we can get you reading. But I see a lot of kids that start school, they don't know their colors. They can't count from 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. That's unacceptable in a day and time like this. One of the other things I would like to see is to get parents more involved in their children, to let them realize it's not just the school's responsibility to educate your child. There are things you can do at home as well. Again, back to reading is fundamental. There may be some parents out there that may not have finished high school. Can you read on the 2nd grade level? Can you read on the 4th grade level? Well, your child's in kindergarten, they need your help. You can surely teach them C-spot run. So getting parents involved, getting them excited, it actually gets the students more excited. Mom and dad cares about my education, so I'm going to care about my education. I can remember when I was coming up, elementary school, my mother and father, I was blessed to have a mother and father at home. A lot of folks don't have that opportunity, but I did. And my parents pushed education. I came home, I would not come home without a book. We don't have homework. Oh yeah, you got some today. So it's just the fact of inspiring kids to want to learn. Once you have inspiration in a child to want to learn, that's all you really have to do, because they'll take over after that.